Hi, I'm Paul Weinberger. I'm an ear, nose, and throat surgeon with subspecialty fellowship training in laryngology, which is the study of voice, airway, and swallowing. I've got a passion for helping people to treat dysphagia. I treat it in the operating room, I treat it in the clinic, but there's a lot of need for ability to take care of these patients at home. And so I'm putting together a series of videos. I hope that you find these very useful. These are practical tips on how to turn everyday meals, what you're having at home, into a delicious, dysphagia-friendly diet. This is specifically geared towards patients that are on what's called a IDDSI Level 5, or minced moist, or a soft mechanical. These are all types of ways of referring to a diet like this, where the patient needs something that is prepared to a certain consistency to help them to swallow it more safely. It is not for every patient with dysphagia needs, and as always, you should check with your doctor, your speech pathologist, and medical professional before you change diets or implement this on your own. I began being very interested in this through my father-in-law. He had to be on a pureed or a minced and moist diet, and nothing stronger than that. He could not chew anything. And I noticed when he would come to visit that he was starting to lose weight. So I had him come live with me for a couple of weeks. And with my training and background, before I went to medical school, I was a chef and I owned a catering company. And I said, I think I can make this work. And my goal and my challenge to myself was that we wouldn't change what we were cooking at home, and we wouldn't try to prepare two separate meals. And so I said, I think we can make what we're having for dinner dysphagia friendly. And I set out to challenge myself with that, and I was able to do this. And he was able to get through that time period now with a non-boring diet, and discovered that dysphagia really can be delicious. As we go through these videos, we'll have specific examples for the food items that we're preparing of how to check them and what it will look like if it's going to meet these tests or not. The goal here is to make sure that what you're about to offer your loved one is as safe as possible. You don't want to give them something that could easily be aspirated into the airway or choked on. All right, let's start with the hamburger patty itself. So I'm going to chop this hamburger up into just equal sized pieces. Now, really important at this stage is that the patty is not swimming in grease. There's not a whole lot of liquid or stuff to bind it down. It's already almost a uniform texture there. In general, you want it to be able to fit through the tines of a fork. The consistency is actually called minced and moist, so we want to add a little bit of moisture to that. And I'm just going to mix this in. So for this part, we're going to use a spoon, and we're going to do the drop test. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the spoon, and I should be able to turn it over, and it falls off. With hard, crunchy vegetables, if you're going to try to process them into this category or size of food particle, you want to put it in water or some type of liquid where there's a lot of liquid to the amount of stuff that you're actually chopping up. That's mostly water, just a little bit of lettuce. Now, interestingly, when we were testing this in preparation for this particular menu, we realized that as this is actually too moist for a minced and moist food category. So if you watch here, when I've got it like this, yes, it does form into a ball, but if I compress this to really form a true ball, see that? It's got excess moisture there. And so this could actually be a little difficult for someone with dysphagia to process. You want to be real careful here. Again, you can easily create just lettuce soup. I'm going to choose to add however much moisture I want in the form of mayonnaise. This doesn't express any extra liquid. It'll hold onto the spoon, but then I can drop it off. Unfortunately, this is going to be really difficult to process in a way that's safe. The other option is just canned tomatoes. All right. Just like with the lettuce, I'm going to strain this. If you try this together and it doesn't quite work, do them separate. I'm just going to do this to save time. So I'm going to use a little pickle juice, and then I'm probably going to add even a little bit of water. Not too much, because we don't want to make our pickles and our onions completely bland. And so I'm just inspecting to see the sizes that are in there. It needs just a little more. I like that a lot better. So you see how this is a more consistent size of particle. So this is just about 50-50 mayonnaise and water. So now that this is sat for just about an hour to overnight, we can see that it forms and it holds its consistency. And so this is going to meet our criteria. So it does come through the tines, so it passes the fork test. It's not going to run off, but it comes off. That's good.